Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Ryan here from Game Essays, and today I'd like to talk about some Zelda news, but maybe not in the way that you think. The two items I'll be discussing today are Breath of the Wild potentially coming to a new device like a Switch Pro, and of course the rumors about Twilight Princess and Wind Waker HD coming to the Switch. So starting with Breath of the Wild 2. All these rumors and news about Breath of the Wild 2 coming to a new system or an upgraded Nintendo Switch all stem from a podcast known as the Digital Foundry Podcast, and essentially some in-industry professionals analyzed the footage and felt that it was too good to be on the Nintendo Switch. Now, I have no problem at all with a podcast analyzing footage. In fact, in the Zelda community, everyone dissects the footage to a ridiculous degree to try and get any information. So that's all well and good that, we have people who are in the industry and can make these assessments and make these judgments that, hey, maybe, either it was a pre-rendered thing, but Nintendo doesn't typically do that. So the footage, it could just be done in a different way, or it could actually be that the performance is so good that it has to be on a new system. That makes total sense to me. And it's cool that like I said, we have people in the industry who are giving this information to the public. They're analyzing it too. My issue comes from every outlet and channel picking this up and positioning it as news when it really is not news. News would be something directly from a reliable source that is information about the game. If Nintendo came out and said it's going to be on a Switch Pro, that is news. If a podcast with people not at all involved with Nintendo are giving their opinion, it is just that. It is an opinion. So I think with Zelda news in particular, because we get so little of it, people like to mesh an editorial opinion with actual reports from Nintendo, and we just get this mixed up where you'll see an article that says Zelda news and it's just someone giving their opinion. So that kind of irks me, and I just want to let you guys know that all this rumor about Breath of the Wild 2 being on a new system is just the opinions of these people on this podcast. And not only that, they also believed whether or not it's going to be on a new system, that it will most likely, very, very likely still be on the base Nintendo Switch. So there's really nothing to worry about, and it is clearly just somebody's opinion or several people's opinion that we may be getting a Switch Pro. But again, we can't put too much stock into that. That's just what people who are completely on the outside are saying. So now on to the rumors about Wind Waker and Twilight Princess HD coming to the Switch. This is a little bit different than what I previously talked about with Breath of the Wild. This isn't someone just giving their opinion. This is someone who allegedly has inside sources, and they believe that with Breath of the Wild 2 now being delayed to 2023, that we're going to get either Wind Waker or Twilight Princess coming to the Switch, or some sort of package deal so that a Zelda game can release in 2022. But again, guys, I would say even with insider information, all these types of rumors, it is best to just ignore it. And, hey, if it happens, that's great. But I just don't like it when these sources, they get all these people's hopes up just because they need someone to click on their article or their video, and then it doesn't end up happening. Or eventually it does happen, but like 2 years later, and you can say, hey, I told you so, I was right. A lot of these rumors and news channels, they can say, hey, Wind Waker's coming to the Switch in 2021, in 2022, in 2023. And you know what? Eventually they're probably going to be right, but And they're just going to point to the time that they were right, but not the 3 years before that they were wrong. So, it seems like an inevitability that this is going to happen anyway, but I'm just saying to try to hold back your expectations so that you're not disappointed. I think a lot of these rumors, a lot of these were popping up well before I believe his name is Jeff Grubb, came out with this alleged inside source report. People were just speculating anyway, the same way people like to speculate about Pokemon remakes and stuff, and people are very clever with their thumbnails to really trick people into clicking. And I'm just trying to say that it's best to just keep your expectations in check and to wait for Nintendo to come out with something. I know they are super slow, particularly with Zelda news, but it's the best way to not be disappointed is to try and drown out some of that noise unless Nintendo releases something. That's why I typically don't cover any Zelda news unless it comes directly from Nintendo, because I don't want to be wrong on something and get people's hopes up. So those are the main things I really just wanted to cover today, and to just try to avoid the noise and just wait for Nintendo so that you're not swayed one way or the other. I mean, we can point to the fact that a year ago, people were like, the Switch Pro is definitely happening, and Forbes magazine's even talking about it. Everyone's talking about how the Switch Pro is gonna happen, and what happened? We got the OLED instead, which, sure, the screen is to the specifications, maybe what the report said, but they were way off on everything else about that. So again, you can see, if you get caught up in the hype thinking there's gonna be Switch Pro, guess what? We didn't get the Switch Pro, and a lot of people were let down because of that. So I'm just saying, especially with Nintendo, it's best to just kind of avoid the noise. So anyway, I know it's a little bit of a negative type video, but I'll be doing a tier list coming this Thursday on the art styles of Legend of Zelda, so look forward to that on Thursday. And hey, check out this other tier list while you wait, and I'll see you guys then. Take care.